Moo, and welcome to the Pinktron. Craig Martin. I'm joined today by John Keenan. John, what are you drinking?
Well, I'm sliding into the world of Fanta Orange, but not quite there yet. This is a Spindrift Orange. It's the closest I could get today.
Very nice. And we also have, speaking of Fanta, Stef Etienne. Steph, what are you drinking?
Our colleague or Pink Trial member, Marjoleine's partner, started his new job this week with Coca-Cola, the parent company of Fanta Lemon, and she requested to promote Fanta Lemon. Sadly, today I'm out of Fanta Lemon to restock it, but I still have my backup drink, which lemonade, which is Sprite, which is also Coca-Cola branded. So 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 for to keep the shares. Well, her partner is in the Netherlands, but I keep the shares, keep the sales up in Belgium for her. So
Good stuff. And I am drinking a Single Friend cold IPA from Refined Fool. It's a motorcycle, not a bicycle, but anyway, what I got. Um, yeah, so I've got no greasy transition because there's no way to be prepared for 10 laps of the Bell Lap. Um, yeah, that's a lot, and there are points for position. It's first across the line points at both the intermediate point and the lap banner. Every lap,
oh, it's
yeah, I think it
oh
is, isn't it?
I didn't know it was FAL.
Yep.
Yeah, that makes it interesting.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, it really does. So,
And as a reminder for people, Bell
I
App is the reverse version of the Grid City. So yeah, through the
I think
park
my
up
first
the
yeah, through the rollers first, then
yeah, and then you exit the park. You have a slightly false flats until the sprint banner, and you do the cobbled climb
go
down.
down. Yeah, go down the climb, the what's normally the prime, and
Yeah,
then around all the right angles and back.
I mean, I think that's a good one for first across line. I think when I first started racing, I really didn't like the first across line
Yeah,
um, points because I felt like, well, I'm not in that category. I'm not going to win the race. I'm not going to be in the front group for very long after the
yep,
start of the race. But I think for this kind of a race, it's nice because even if you're in a group of three, four, 10 people, you can still then have that little sprint that, or little or big, you can make your effort worthwhile
yep,
and really make a difference in how many points you're going to get relative, again, to the people you're racing against.
yeah.
It's not
Or
like I'm
you,
going to be anywhere but the middle of the pack, but
yeah, but you've got 20 opportunities to
yeah,
duke it out with whoever you're with. So, yeah, you
yeah,
step one, be
and
with
if
the fastest people you can be with, but step two,
yes.
beat the people you're with. So,
yeah, and FAL is always interesting since normally if you do this on FTH, which is mainly just the prime, so it's less sprints, but it's people just go for the full segment, not at a really long segment. But with FAL, you can still have some tactics. Probably they're still going massive sprints since it's short, but yeah,
Well, in 10 of them, I think at least I have to make a bargain about which ones I'm going to hit hard, which ones I'm
yeah,
going to hit really hard, and which ones I'm going to sort of recover on.
yeah, definitely. And especially with the sprint, it's not the lap banner, it's not the hairpin one, it's the turn to the right. But yeah, if you normally sprint, you do it before the corner. Well, if you have some sprinting power, but yeah, it's can be more tactical that people don't go full out. Well, it's hard to say because it's forced across the line. So yeah, who knows?
Well, and it's it's HSRL, so the first 2 or 3 laps, there's always going to be somebody who's going to say, "Oh, is this a points race?" After the second, third lap, you'll be like, "All right, now they're getting it."
Yeah. I mean, this one with 10 laps, yeah, it's a lot. So
It's a
Yeah,
lot. I can't do that many. I mean, again, I'll bargain about which ones I'll do as hard and which ones are going to be my recovery ones. But
well, it really is a lot of meter your effort, right? So don't get
mhm,
dropped. Like I say, the biggest thing is don't get dropped from the group you're in. And
right,
then, you know, how much do you have to put in to fight among the group?
yeah,
yeah. It's even if you wanna take it easy, see on one of the sprints or one of the just to temper your efforts, but you still indeed make sure you're still in that in the draft of the people going for the sprint. So it's yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, no, I think the biggest thing is to yeah, a lot of the times there's not much difference between just barely hanging on to the draft and being, ahead of a couple people in a group of 6 or 7. So sometimes it's
yeah,
worth putting the effort in before the banner instead of after the banner to catch back on. Um,
right.
so yeah, it's
Especially if it's got that big drop after the sprint banner where people are just going to zoom off. And if you don't have their draft,
yeah. Well, and
that's going to be,
it's downhill after both banners. So
yeah.
and yeah,
is it is the
The
finish
lap
banner
banner's
on?
flat-ish, but I think there is
Yeah,
a
what
corner
to say is it drag you uphill from the well, it's from the I mean from the U-turn you do it now in the opposite direction, but I can't recall if it's uphill. No, not uphill, but it's
I think it's a little uphill into the finish, right? Like
uh,
1% or whatever, up to the last right hand corner because the in this direction the banner's right after the corner.
Mhm.
The last 90 right before the banner. So I think it's a little uphill into that, and then I think it's a little bit downhill, not much, maybe 1% through the banner. And then you lose the draft on the 90 on the hairpin going into the rollers. So
yeah.
anyway, should be interesting. These ones always are. I just wanted to
Yeah,
check.
and since it's all category visibles, you still will be somewhat yeah, it's yeah, maybe not less with this format less interesting if you get dropped if you're with a rider of a different category. It's still better to ride with somebody, but
Oh,
it's,
absolutely.
but with FTS you can still use they're gonna go for the FTS so you can use it while when you're dropped and by yourself
Well, I
of
mean,
your
the big thing
category.
is,
In FAL, it's a bit different.
well, yeah, but I mean, it's you're gonna go faster in a group, whoever you're with.
Yeah,
Um,
of course.
so I try to get back on, or get away, or keep from being caught by whoever's behind you, or whatever. It is so. I was just checking the times. So it's plus 4 minutes for the C's, plus 4 minutes for the B's, and then plus 2 minutes for the A's. So the Yeah, with
Yeah, and
rough
seemed
so on roughly 2-minute laps.
yeah.
At the end of lap
Yeah, that
two,
was my
you should be
recollection.
yeah.
My recollection last time going the other direction was you took off out of the pens and the previous category was right on your heels,
I think
Yes.
which
the
was nice.
normal. I think the normal 3 minutes we usually have for FTS for HSRL is more should the line board because since it's 2 kilometers, it's about well for the lower categories at least
Yeah.
C and D's around the 3 minute mark. 4 minutes is a bit in between. You might start your second lap before the next category. You'll be in your second category before
Yeah.
the next category goes out of the pens.
Yeah. Yeah, so I guess for the C's, the actually probably for the D's and the C's. So for the C's, the A's will probably be coming out of the pen right around when you after lap two. And for the D's, the B's are probably going to be pretty close shortly after you
Yeah,
go through.
yeah, because the gap indeed between C and A's are 6 minutes. So yeah,
Yeah, and it's 8 from the D's to the B's. And the B's are normally faster than the A's, so they'll probably catch up pretty quick.
yeah, depending on how big, because there was yeah a couple of only a couple of A's, and it seems the A with that 4 minute gap the D's held it finished before roughly a minute before for the first C. So yeah,
Yeah. But that's really going to depend.
yeah, it depends on how the composition of the different groups are, how the groups are playing the laps, if they go fast, slow, depend take the primes. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. No, should be interesting anyway. That's a fun one.
I haven't seen a prime number that high before in HSRL. Scorekeeper at almost 14, 50 points.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, so 1450 or 1500 is perfect. So, but yeah, the A's at 1447, 1422, and 1394. It's quite a lot. Yeah. So, anyway, looks like a rough one. So, we'll
Yeah.
uh we'll see how that goes. Actually, that's a little faster than I thought it would be too. At yeah, 31 minutes for the D's. Yeah, that's
Roughly a bit
Yeah.
below, just below 40 kph, maybe
yeah,
38, something like that.
that's quick. Yeah, so looks
Yeah,
like I'm
B's and
only
C's
here so
helping
I
them
can.
along maybe a couple times.
I who knows? Yeah, they may have well been riding with the bees or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, like we said, they may caught up with on a few laps with high speed groups and were able to stick with them for a bit.
Yeah. Anyway, all good. Steph, what about HBR?
Yeah, it's on like said in our pre-chat. It's on the not so flat London flat
Yes.
route. It's 2 laps of it. It's about a 12K loop. It starts, well, there are only one pens in London. You take a left and a lap banner, quote unquote, it's somewhere near at the start of the Tower Bridge, London Bridge. You go over the bridge, down the escalators, through Richmond Park, which is rolly, back up the escalator, take a left after the right after the bridge, the little up draggy bits, uphill bits, still roundabout, and then you go back along the river until the bridge or the starting pens,
Right.
and
Yeah.
you do
'Cause
two.
that's the one that uses the Tower Bridge as the start finish banner. I forgot about that.
Yeah, that was I was about to say that's one of those picked just raise lines, probably just a blue checkered thing usually.
Yeah, I don't know if does that show up like the McCurry virtual banners or anyway, I don't know how that actually looks. I'm sure I've raced it before, but I absolutely can't remember.
Yeah. Yeah, the lap is about 12 kilometers, 115 meters of elevation with a 400-meter lead in. So, yeah, it's roughly 24.5 kilometers, a bit below, and then 230 meters. Like I said, it's not gigantic elevation, but it's not really flat.
No, no.
As referring back to Marjolein, she can especially agree upon it. I think she sometimes does like routes where she lives, and she has on her 100K ride, she has like 30 meters of elevation,
Hmm.
and that's probably just some bridge over a freeway.
Yeah, she needs an escalator. I think that's the thing that's going to be deciding in the beginner racing races, the escalator. Just you could get dropped there
Yeah,
pretty easily.
Ah,
yeah,
that's pretty.
but
It's half, kind of
yeah,
halfway, right?
yeah, it's halfway.
Yeah.
I was about to say the Richmond Park is also a little bit of riser, but that's at the start of the lap. You do have before the front banner, you have a bit up and down, not that much, but there's definitely some points. Looking at the profile, you maybe wanna, if you're feeling frisky to in, if you're not the best sprinter, to give it a go. But yeah,
Yeah, so I mean, there's the escalator. So often, if you really push, like from the tracks up the platform, up the escalator,
Right. That first little bump.
yeah. So if you go right from the tracks across the bridge, that can be enough to break a group and drop someone. But
I was thinking
yeah,
more it's a place to lose the race rather than to drop everybody else.
very much. But
yeah,
if you want to select the group,
Right.
that would be the spot to do it.
Yeah.
But
yeah, and
ideally, you would
especially
do that with, you do that with, you'd plan on doing it with a teammate or two and
yeah,
go if you go first together, you might have a chance.
yeah, because you have that escalator, but then you, like you said, you have a bit chicane left, right turn, but and then you have the bridge, which is also a bit of a false flat, and then right after that, not far after that, you have that bump until the until bit of a climb uphill until the roundabout. So you can definitely, if you push it, break people.
Yeah. Yep. Actually, pretty good race
Yeah,
course.
yeah,
It's a flat race, but I think it's a good one.
yeah. It's enough up and down. It's yeah, it's a bit of maybe reminding of park perimeter loop around those kind of things. Always a bit up and down. Couple of selection points.
Yep. But pretty good. So anyway, On the subject of Stampede, so I'm going to make everything the same course where there has been half the time slots on Handful of Gravel and half on Tempest. So we'll make Tempest for this week, and then we will move on to a different course next week. Finally.
It'll be incentive for me to upgrade my time trial bike because that's the last one I
You
need
still
to
haven't.
upgrade. I just don't ride time trials. It's the Sean Fogenberg curse of being too tall.
Yeah,
It's
just
it's it's demoralizing.
do the TTT.
Yeah.
Actually, that is one. Yeah, I was gonna do it this week, but didn't work out. But I'm gonna try and do some TTTs. I haven't done many in a while,
Yeah,
and
that's true. I probably
they
should
are
do a
fun.
few.
Yeah,
They are fun, especially if you get a good group.
yeah. And really, I find like
Yeah,
all the herd teams are a good group. So
Yeah, no, that's true. I haven't really had a bad. I've had groups where I'm like, oh, they're way too strong for me, and it turned out they were, but that's not like we didn't have fun.
yeah, and most groups will push you to keep going and guys, I really can't just go.
Right, right. That's usually
I was,
that's the problem with the herd groups is they don't want to drop you. It's
Yes,
like, no, you really do. I want you to drop me.
yeah, go ahead, go ahead. No, we're gonna wait. Oh, no, please don't.
please don't.
Let
Um,
me just go. Let me write my own pace.
yeah,
Yeah.
the
And
again, the quokkas did have that reputation of baby chucking. Um, Quite legitimately, we were pretty competitive. The group
Yeah.
had regularly, but it was all good natured, and everybody knew that going in with that group. So
yeah,
Well,
yeah.
I think the biggest imbalances I can remember were really on ZRL teams.
really,
And, that's sort of like who's going to be available what weeks.
yeah,
And I just remember being in like, oh, it's team time trial week on ZRL. And I'm looking at my teammates thinking, oh, this is not going to go well. I got like five people with like, 50 more watts on their FTP than me. It's like, ugh.
yeah. Yeah. I mean, ZRL. I mean, you are definitely going in with the more competitive mindset generally. That
Yeah.
yeah, we're this is absolutely going for the best time. This isn't a social group ride, and
Yeah.
yeah,
it's a
and
little
people,
more cutthroat generally. But
yeah, people are. It's also difficult. Yeah, some teams are. I've been doing it for quite a bit, but TTTs in, especially in ZRL, if you're not used to do like the Thursday TTTs, it's always something special if you do it in ZRL because people might not used to the pacing lines or the strategy. But yeah,
Yeah.
Thursday TTTs can also be quite depending on because now it's summer. Signups are a bit lower, so I've seen teams where there's a 1 watt per kilo difference between the top and the bottom riders. Those
yeah,
are yeah C's, yeah B's and C's together. Usually in that case, it's a B rider, and the B rider does the majority of the work. He just sit at the front, and people just for him it's
Hang
a
on for
bit.
your life. Yeah.
Well, the B rider still does a pace which is below his threshold, but that everybody can follow. But he does most of the work. I've experienced that
Yeah.
a couple of times. They are basically the locomotive, just chugging along at the front. And if people are feeling up to it, they can do a pull. But mostly the B rider doesn't really care if he's at the front like 90% of the time.
well,
Speaking of time trials, that time trials in the Zwift, in the Tour de France Zwift avec,
Tour de
what
France
is it? Tour de
avec
France
Zwift.
Femme avec Zwift.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I think that the tour's been interesting to watch overall, but the time trial, like I'm still kind of confused by what happened there. Like there were people who I thought were going to do okay or well, and they didn't do well, and people that I didn't imagine. Like it was very unexpected, I feel like and maybe that's
Yeah,
just
I
'cause I don't
think
know the teams and the individuals as well, but
yeah, but it's also a case. As people say, time trials aren't that common in a women's cycling. It's men's
mm,
have it more often. So it's maybe depending. If you're not used to it, and it was also not a really flat course. There was a hill in it, so yeah, who knows?
yeah.
So people
I feel like the
might not.
Vuelta and the Giro, the women's versions of those seem to have team time trials in them, at least the last couple I saw.
Yep.
Um, yeah, maybe you don't see as many individual time trials. But I've been having fun watching it.
Yep.
It's been very dynamic. A lot of changing up of the yellow jersey and
Yeah.
yeah.
So I would
Yeah,
say I wasn't watching, so I haven't been watching full stages or anything, but looking at the day before and especially the day after, they both look like possible breakaway days.
Yeah.
So I would say there's probably a lot of riders, if they're not the team leader, might have been taking the time trial a little easy.
Yeah. Yeah. I think some of them
Yeah.
were like a couple minutes down. I was like, wow, that's surprising for that
Yeah. But I think
caliber of
it's,
rider.
I think it is, if some
yeah,
of them were not riding to max effort, they were riding,
Yeah.
yeah.
And maybe I
yeah.
missed the memo on this, but I watched the men's tour too. And there's no time difference, even if you're in the same group or something. That was took me the longest time to figure that out. Like
Yeah. Yeah. So if it's a mass finish, everybody gets same time. Yeah.
everybody gets the same time. So even though you're 40 people back, you get the same time as the winner
Yeah.
on the GC.
Yeah, it's same with the men's race. There has to be a clear split somewhere of a couple of seconds before I think before actual difference are being counted. But
Yeah. I think
that's
the
it's
rule
get
the rule officially used to be, in any actual gap, where bikes aren't overlapped, but that it's
Okay.
not been the rule was eventually revised because it's just not been practiced. I think
Huh.
I could be completely wrong on that, but that was always my
And did they do
understanding.
that last year and the year before? Maybe I just didn't
Yeah.
pay
Yeah.
attention.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
yeah, I think it's probably some clear gap of a couple of seconds, and then it's actually the real time because technically, maybe let's say if it's a clear difference of one or like let's say 3 or 4 seconds. So, for instance, the last rider of that group and of the front group, and then behind it's 3 seconds, but that first rider of the second group, her difference is counted towards when the first rider crosses the finish line. So can be technically 3 seconds between those two groups effectively, but they get placed in like 10 or 15 seconds because the group is
Right.
Very
split out
long.
so much, and it's just at that point there's a little gap that the race commissaires. But usually especially in bunch sprints, it's very lenient because you don't see, even with a big peloton which crossed over maybe 10 or 15 seconds, usually no time gaps awarded.
Yeah. And
But,
crash in the last kilometer, you're awarded the time
Yeah, I knew that one
with.
last
no,
bit,
no,
right.
yeah, no, yeah, it depends. It depends if, depending on the stage, it could be 3 kilometers or even 5 kilometers now. Because now, if you have a crash or a Mac or something like that. But it also depends on the stage, because some if you do a slight uphill, then the 3 kilometer rule doesn't count. Yeah, and some special occasions are.
Usually that rule doesn't usually apply on uphill finishes and so on and so forth.
Yeah, and for instance, there are some stages with special circumstances. For instance, the final stage of the men's tour with the Montmartre circuit, they usually also with those 5 and 3 kilometers rules, the times are taken then. But for the Montmartre stage, I think it's before they started the Montmartre loops, the 3 loops, then the times were taken. So every time gap after that wasn't taken in account for the GC or the GC standings.
Yeah. Right. So today was Mont Ventoux, so.
Yeah, that'll split up some people. That's for sure.
Yeah, it was quite exciting. I saw the final bit. I was home early, but then I was starting to watch it, but then I think I fell asleep for a bit. Take a little nap. A walking time. I think right after the final move was done. But yeah. What I like about the Tour of the women, it's bit more can be a bit more closer, exciting, because gaps are usually a bit closer to each other, and it's all depending.
Let's just say less predictable.
Yeah, less predictable. That's the word what I was about to say. Yeah. And it's the two are completely different, because usually, it happened this tour, but usually breakaway stages usually don't happen. From a long breakaway with women's racing, but yeah, like in the Tour de France with the men's tour. But that's maybe because it's their grand tours, like the Tour of Vuelta and the Giro, they are like 7 to 9 stages, while the men's tours are always 21 stages. So more teams, much opportunities, and bigger gaps. So breakaways can happen more, or breakaways happen and get to the finish more often than with the women.
Yep. Okay. Zwift news. There's an update. It doesn't seem to be much. There's another paint job for the Canyon Aeroad CFR that you have to buy the bike again and upgrade it again. And anyway, a lot of people don't like how they're doing that, but so anyway, just don't choose to buy it if that's the case. But it basically seems there's that. There's a bunch of routes that now have achievement badges and XP available for runners, and some routes that are no longer available for runners. Fixed an issue that could cause power bests in the post-ride progress report to be inconsistent across.
And we're back.
He went to throw the master switch somewhere.
Oh, we're back.
Yeah.
I think we're back, Craig.
We are. Yes. Actually, it looks like I'm still recording. But
it said recording in progress, when it came back.
Okay. So anyway, I don't know what happened there, but that was interesting.
Yeah.
I was going to check my router. But so anyway.
Well, I was going to comment on this Canyon Aeroad CFR thing. It's like Zwift wants to have skins, and it's like, yeah, that's great. We want to decorate stuff, but like, I'm not going to go upgrade a bike for whatever 5,000 kilometers, whatever I have to do to upgrade it again. Like, sell me a skin for drops. Happy to do that. I got
Yep.
too many drops. Like, yeah, million drops. I can paint my bike. Yeah, okay, that's fine. Like, but don't make me ride another X thousand kilometers and Y thousand meters of elevation. Like, ugh.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't think they have the right handle on the quote unquote micro transactions just yet.
Yeah. And maybe you guys talked about this. This isn't Zwift news. This is Zwift competitor news, but Garmin bought Training Peaks and Training Peaks Virtual, which is the old what, Indie Velo, I guess. Like,
Yeah.
that's fascinating. I can see how Garmin would want the Training Peaks coach side of it,
I
but
think that's probably what they're more interested in.
yeah,
Except so
Yeah,
Garmin also bought Tax. So
right.
Tax used to have their own training software. I don't know. I don't know whether they're interested in Indivelo at all or whether it was just for the Training
it's
Peaks
maybe that's probably
coaching.
it's probably Training Peaks and Training Peaks virtual or X Indivello just came with a package essentially.
Yeah, I guess I feel like Indie Velo was like, oh, that was the free one, right? Where it was sort of a one-man shop, kind of making his
Yeah, and
own.
there's another one of those that actually I haven't looked at in quite a while, but I thought was interesting was Bike Terra. But
Oh yeah,
Okay.
was about to say was looking for the name, but yeah, I saw that pop up. Yeah,
yeah,
So I wonder if Training Peaks did anything with Indie Velo and then Garmin got interested in it.
yeah,
Yeah, I mean it's more consolidation, which I guess
generally
is what,
bad.
yeah, it's a trend.
well, it's a consolidation, but yeah, it's Garmin is Garmin. It's not like, for instance, Zwift or well, Zwift acquired Ruby, but it's not something like that. Or to just Garmin, yeah, they can have same thing like Training Peaks bought or incorporated in Velo, changed the name, and now it's part of Garmin's library or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, it would be interesting to see if they try to, make a Zwift competitor out of it. But
Yep. So anyway, we'll have to see. I doubt that's what Garmin has in mind. Um,
Yeah,
I think it is just for the the coaching and analysis and everything else that Training
yeah,
the
Peaks
coaching
does.
side,
Yeah.
yeah.
yeah, but because Training Peaks is one of the bigger ones for coaching and out there, so it makes sense for Garmin, one of the bike computer manufacturers, our own data on Garmin Connect to have more of a dedicated training platform.
Yeah, or eventually just roll Garmin Connect into Training Peaks.
Yeah,
Because Training Peaks is better. The
yeah,
only
yeah, of
the
course.
only thing Garmin Connect has for it is that it's free.
Yeah.
And the better interface with the bike computer. So anyway, that is that. Any other news? I don't think I have any.
No, there's like always a new month, new Z Racing series, which is a Mercury Madness, which will entail 4 new routes in Mercury. But yeah,
Okay.
nothing special. And then also in that article, there's some updates to Swift is still seem to be working on the uh, racing profile. They unlocked, which we talked a couple of months ago, the racing profile page with the race result, and now it's also they continue to build and add it. I think the power dashboard, which is essentially what was already on the Zwift.com website, maybe the graph, the FTP, ZFTP, ZMap, VO2 max. I would say the power best, but the power best were more than those four. I think that's, but yeah, doesn't. Yeah, it's more one shop thing. So yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Do you guys have anything you really want to discuss as far as an around the horn? I don't have a topic.
No, not really.
Just throw if you got anything you want to talk about. Now's the time.
Well, I've been
No,
mainly nothing Swift related. Like I said in like I said in the pre-chat, I think I'm more now since it's high summer. I'm more outdoors. I think the one Swift race ride slash race in the last 2 weeks.
yeah, I'm going to be taking
Yeah.
a little time off next week, so I'll have to keep my streak going though. But I did find out that I can turn my Garmin watch on and call it a bike ride when I'm rowing on a lake.
Yeah.
So I think I can do any. I can just go for a walk and call it a bike ride, and it'll keep my streak alive. So I think
Yeah.
I'm safe.
Yeah,
I think my
that
streak
was
stayed
what.
alive from BMX riding because I used my
Yeah,
watch for laps.
Yeah,
yeah,
I just accumulate enough laps, and you got the 2K or whatever it is. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if you need the
yeah,
2K for an outdoor ride, actually.
Oh, interesting. Oh, yeah.
yeah.
I think
Was
there's some
about
cruisers there. I could always get out of the garage and go to the store.
Yeah.
I was thinking since you do a bit of running, John, I was thinking, oh, maybe it's gonna work as running counts, but yeah, I don't know how Swift running and outdoor running connects. If that also applies if you do
Oh,
uh, uh,
yeah.
a run on yours on a Garmin watch, if it would count that as a outdoor run and count
It
towards
doesn't show up as
your
a run
streak.
in Zwift. I haven't seen, but I haven't really looked at the Zwift running interface in forever. So,
Yeah, well, yeah. I don't have the slightest clue. I know it works for I can use it like I said. You can use it for even if you're basically at home. I could technically start my watch while I ride to the shop to do my groceries and back and call that an outdoor ride and it would count
oh yeah,
possibly.
oh yeah, I've done that many times. Yeah,
Oh.
yeah. I'll keep Scotty Squirrel in my pocket till next week at least. Just hit level 100 and 100 weeks on Zwift for
Oh,
my
nice.
streak.
Oh,
That's
nice.
good.
Yeah, think I hit somewhere between 91 and 92, so getting closer, but yeah, those
Yeah, I
last
started using
10
the confetti
levels
sock.
take a bit of time, but yeah.
Oh, no, I did lose my streak.
Oh,
Oh,
No, I just checked. Oh, well.
that's
yeah, I was about to say, yeah, technically I still, well, I have two streaks, Davis, but yeah, because I've been
I did
riding
see
so much.
somebody, the big bike ride across my home state where I grew up in Iowa, just finished last weekend, and somebody rode it with a Scotty Squirrel stuffy in their pocket the whole time. That was fun to see. I don't know how many people recognized it.
Yeah. Ugh. Anyway, I think that is the end of her. So,
Yeah.
thank you, Steph Etienne. Thank you, John Keenan. And thank you all for listening. Have a good week. Good luck on the Bell Lap. And then we'll see you next week for our finale of this season of HSRL.
Yeah.
Moo.
Bye, Fanta Lemon.
The Pink Tron podcast is a production of the Herd Racing League. All nonsense is our own. Thank you to Gavin Ions for the theme music. Moo and ride on.